Hello everyone. I'm assuming you can see me. I'll just go to the chat window. Can you please tell me on AI community tab if you can see me and you can hear me also. Can anyone see me? Those who are online, can you please ping on AI community tab and tell me? Okay. Great. So let's go back. In preview, I will share my PowerPoint. All right, so let's get started. So before we start this session, I want to take a few questions if you have, and we want to just recap what we did so far. So very quickly, this is our fourth session in Python for data analysis. In the first three sessions, we learned some basic. In the first session, we learned like why we are looking at Python, what are the different libraries that we'll be using, and how to go about it, how to install and all those things. Then in the second session, we talked about a little bit more into hands-on coding. Third session was largely on hands-on coding. We were looking at various kind of stuff that we can do in Panda in terms of data manipulation. And we also learned a new technique, group by, wherein we can actually generate some summary statistics by different groups or different variables which are categorical in nature primarily, and how we can actually generate different stats and take that output to a CSV file or an Excel file, right? We have also tried to read two kinds of data. One is the car sale, which is like an Excel file. Then another is a student data, which is again in a CSV file. So today we'll try to learn something different, something more advanced, which is more on the side of the merging two data sets, right? So that's what is the topic for today. But before we get started, I want to take a few questions. If you have any, if you are, let's say, not able to run anything, just let me know. Okay, so anything that you want to ping, anything that you want to ask, please ping on this particular tab, AI Community General, right? So this works much better. It's a very easy so that everybody is in the same page. I have already uploaded the recordings for all the three sessions. And you can actually go ahead and see it here. Okay, so can you tell me, like, were you able to do whatever we have done till now in session 3? Till session 3? Like, are you able to read file? Are you able to run the data? I mean, run various kind of data manipulation exercises. Are you able to add column, drop NAs or something like that? Any questions? Cool. So in the meanwhile, you are formulating your question. What I would suggest is turn off all other windows that you have except Microsoft Teams and Anaconda, maybe Jupyter Notebook. Apart from that, all other windows you can turn off. That's OK, right? No need to worry about it and sit back and relax. So today we will talk a little bit about how we can combine data in Python. Right. So typically what we do in Excel, the way we work is we actually take the data from two different files, then do sometime VLOOKUP, sometime we append it, sometime we append it. I mean, we'll take one data, stack it up, sometime we will append across the columns. So depending on our need, we'll do that. So these two things that are very important because most of the time the data is sitting in different sources. So you can have, let's say, customer data in one, customer profile data in one table, customer transaction data in one another table. Then you have, let's say, some other information about the customer in third table, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is combine the data in single table so that you can start analyzing it. Right. So that's why we need so many different methods to combine data. So in Excel, as I said, like you can do VLOOKUP. Basically, you can do simply copy paste and OK, this is something interesting. So let me not turn on the slide. So OK, I guess you can see it. All right. So we call it as a reshaping data. So basically changing the layout of the data. So the graphics that you see on the screen is very, very simple to understand. And I won't talk about this first. I would rather talk about the bottom one first. So here what we are doing, we are combining two data frames. So one is this data, another is this. So we are just stacking it up, right? So now you can immediately see when you are stacking the data up, the column names should be same, right? So that's where they will be stacked. So if you say the first column is employee ID, second column is name of the ID, third column is address. That is your first data. In second data, if you have again employee ID, then name, then address, then you can simply stack it up, right? Like that. So suppose you want to stack it up, but instead of address, you have, let's say, address underscore detailed or something like that. So column name is different. Then either you rename the columns, as we have learned in the last session, how we can rename the column. You can rename the column so that both data frames have the same column name, and then you can append it. Otherwise, what will happen? It will create another column which will have a lot of NA values depending on which data frame you are using. So that's how we do it. Now the syntax is very, very simple. We call it pd.concat, right? pd.concat is combining concatenation of two data frames. And the name of the data you have to put in list. Why list? Because they have more than one data frame. So whenever we are talking about more than one, think of list. So in the brackets, you have to put in df1, df2. You can put in as many as you want, like 3, 4, 5, and many else, as many you have, and it will all stack it up. It's good to mention axis equal to 0 because you are combining along the rows, stacking along the rows. So that is one way of stacking data. Another way of combining data is when you have two different files where you have information in one file, that is, let's say, call information 1, and in the second file you have information 2, and you simply want to join them, right? So sometimes what happens, we need not do VLOOKUP because we know the order is same. So for example, employee ID is the first column in this data, the top one. If the employee ID is the first column, which is the gray here, and in the second data also employee ID is the first column, and they are sorted by the same sorted in the same order, and here also sorted in the same order, and they have exactly same number of employee IDs. So basically you are saying if you just combine them across the column, you can get the information. So a lot of time we need this. I will tell you why. So when we do a lot of analysis in Python, we break the data frame. Right, so we will take only few columns that are required out of, let's say, hundreds of columns that are there. We will take only few, let's say 10 columns we took, and then we are doing some analysis on those 10 column manipulation and all. Then we want to join back the result. So you need not to do a VLOOKUP kind of thing. You can simply join it. Simply say pd concat and it will join the data like this. Right, so that's what also we can do. Now this join is little bit tricky. Why? Because by mistake or during your process, if you shuffle the data, if you sort the data, right, in a different way, then it is not good to join them back because it is not joining on any key. It is simply joining them as per their index. Right? As long as you keep the index intact, they will be joined properly. You can also ignore the index to do that. So be careful when you are joining like this. And the only difference between this and this is you are telling here axis equal to 1. That is, you have to join along the columns. Then you have all sort of different possibilities that you can check here, right? Then we have join or merging in Pandas data frame. This is very, very similar to SQL join if you have already done. If not in SQL, you have VLOOKUP in Python. Oh, sorry, in Excel, right? So it is the same way. So we have different kinds of join, which are very well depicted here. We have left join, right join, inner join, and full outer join. So mostly if you see left and right join are quite similar, right? So it is just that you are taking one table as a base and getting information from the other table. Right? Whereas in right join, you are taking one table on the right side and adding information from the left side. So it doesn't matter. You can choose. Typically we use left join because we say that okay, this is my base table, and other table is where I'm searching for information. Wherever it matches, I'll find it. So what is the difference between all these kinds? So if you see these circles, the interaction is the information which is common to both. Right. So this is circle 1, this is circle 2, whatever is intersection here, that is the common records that are there in both the records, both the tables. So in left join, what it will do, it will take the left table, that is your table 1, or let's say left table only. Let's say it has 100 records. Now it will go to right table, right? And it will try to find out, let's say employee ID, 100 employee ID we have in the left table. We go to another table, let's say which has, let's say 1000 employee IDs. We want to find out which employee IDs are there and get some information. So we will try to match it. And let's say it got matched for 90 employee IDs. So 90 employee IDs will be returned with the value from the right table, while the 10 will be there, but the value corresponding to right table will not be found. So it will be null, right? So that's what is left join. Right join is just opposite of that, right? You're taking right table and then inner join is something we are saying that give me only those records which are common in both the tables. So left table, right table, whatever is the common employees in both the table, that only will be returned. So if it has 100, it has 1000 and common are 60, it will give you 60. Okay, those which are not matched will be removed. Full outer join, this you rarely do, right? Except in some cases, very, very rare cases. You say that, okay, whatever is there in the left table, whatever is there in the right table, you give me all, right? You give me all, so it looks like a kind of concatenation. So either by column side you are doing or row side you are doing. So that's how different kinds of join works. So now we will look into the various syntax or how it works in Pandas. So in Pandas, the function is very simple. It says pandas.merge. So PD is nothing but an alias for import pandas. So what we do here, we have the A data frame, B data frame, you have the variables x1, x2, x1, x3, right? So whenever you are joining or merging two data sets, you need to have a common column, right? Based on which it will be merged. So what happens here is in the first data frame, we have x1, A, B, C. So it will look for first A, it will take the A and go back in second data set and search where A is. So it found A here and it will return the value here T, right? So you will see the output will be A1T, right? So like that it will be. When you are doing a left join, it will return all ABC. When you are doing right join, then it will return all the ABD, not C. And if you are doing inner join, then the column ones are A and B, which is like here. And then if you're doing outer, it will return all the record ABC and ABD. So unique values are ABCD. So that is here. So you can see in this is like a left join. So ABC is intact. For C, we couldn't find a match. So we said null, and D we don't need because we don't have it in A, and so on and so forth. Then you have a couple of other things like filtering joins. I won't get into that right now. You can look into it. But what you need to remember is these two kind of joins, how equal to left and how equal to inner. These are the most common one that you would like to see or you would typically use. So what happened here? So where we do define the key, right? So you can see the syntax, it is data frame 1, data frame 2. By default, you start with the left data, then right data, and you mention how you want to join. You want to join left, right, inner or outer. Then you say on equal to x1. Why we did provide on equal to x1 only once? Because the name of the common key is same in both the data frames. right? Now it is possible that it is not same, right? In one data it is called as employee IDs, in another data it is called as just ID. So what will you do then? Then you can simply say left on and right on. So you just need to provide this syntax. You say left on equal to x1 or employee ID, right on equal to ID. So then also it will work. What if you have to match on multiple columns? So you want to match, let's say, by employee name. So employee name can be duplicate. Also, multiple employees can have same name. So how will you match it? You will say employee name and location, right? Or employee name and team. Even then there may be duplicates, but let's assume that there are not. So then what you have to do, you have to provide two columns. So you have to match on employee name and location. So simply in left on, you will say equal to employee name location. Now because we are talking about more than one columns, we have to enclose it in a list. So square brackets, you will write employee ID and location. Similarly for right, whatever the name, let's say it says ID and country. So you will write ID and country in a list. So that's how you will say. One feature which is also there, it also gives you the merge indicator, right? So it will basically tell you, like, so this indicator is there. If you add this option, which is by default false, if you add this option, it will add another column in your data, final data, and it will tell you from where the record came. So whether it is available in both or left or right. So that also it can tell you, which is useful in validating your information. So before I move on, I want to see if you have any questions. Any questions so far? I'll go back to Teams and I'll look here. Okay, so there are a few questions. One is like when we use parenthesis and when we use square bracket. So that's a bit tricky one, but think like this. So whenever you are using a function in Pandas or let's say in Python, any function in Python, when you are using, you will use parenthesis. So this first kind of braces, we call it parenthesis. Whenever you are referring to list, square bracket. Whenever you are referring to anything within a data frame, like we have created the student data and we call it DT, then if you want to do something within DT, then square bracket. So Pandas data frame, if you want to get something inside, you have to use square brackets. Any more questions? And if you are posting questions somewhere else, please post it here, AI Community General. Okay, so can you tell me, like, if I have to join more than two data sets together, what should we do? Okay, we'll take up this question, but before that, if you can just type in your answers, like if you have to join three data frames, A, B, C, at DF1, DF2, DF3, how will you do that? So meanwhile, you're thinking the answer, I will take this question, which is, can you tell me what are those first two parameters, ADF, BDF of the merge function? Those are nothing but the name of the data frame. So you can say DT1, DT2, left data set, right data set, whatever name you provide, that we can take. Okay. So if you have to merge more than one data set, you have to use more than one time this function, right? So you cannot actually provide a list of data frames here in this. pd.concat, that was a different thing. There you can provide more than two also. Here you cannot. So what do you have to do? First, you have to use left versus let's say DT1, DT2, DT3. First, you merge DT1 with DT2, then take the outcome and merge it with DT3. So that is the way to do it. Okay, so before we move on and have some another concept, let's do something in practice. So now I'm going to write some code. You take a look at it and try to implement in your environment, right? So that you can learn on the go. So can you also open up your Anaconda software and open up a Jupyter notebook? In the meanwhile, I'll do one thing. I'll upload today's okay, concat. Yes, so concat is good, but concat cannot join typically by keys, right? It will say it will simply just join it, right? So not joining, vertically append it. It will fix it, one on the top of the other. So concat is not the right way. You have to merge it by, let's say you have information about employee in one table, information about performance in second table, information about address in third table, information about, let's say, using transport in fourth table. Now you want to combine all these tables into a single information schema, or let's say single table. Then you cannot use simply concat there. Okay, so I will go ahead and open up Python S1. I have uploaded one more exercise, which is 5 merging, and I have uploaded one slide, which is Python for customer analytics slide 4. I have not uploaded. Sorry, I'll do it immediately now. So I go here, upload. Okay, I'm not uploading here. I'm uploading here. So this is one file. Which is the second exercise 4, group by. Okay, so let me go back to my Python base. I will open up, let's say, test1.ipynb. Okay, so whenever you are starting a new session, you have to run all the commands again. So basically import pandas, import OS and all. Whenever you need it, you have to do it again. So let's do this. Now what happens? Okay. Okay, let's see. Something went wrong. I don't know what. Let me do this. I'll just restart my session. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to read this data again, but I will make some changes to this data so that we can learn something about merging. So let's go to car sale data again. And what we will do, we will create one more tab to it. Okay. And let's see, we take manufacturer. Okay, model, vehicle type. Okay, so let's say we take this model versus vehicle type. Okay, and let's say we are taking a horsepower also. go here and we copy it here and remove all the duplicates. How do we drop duplicates in pandas? PD dot drop duplicates. Okay, so let's see that also. Okay, so now I'm going to read this file. I have done something, some modification. All right, let me put in one more sheet wherein I will put only this information, and let's say this I will put in here, and let's take out the vehicle type and horsepower. Okay. So before we go into pandas, let's do some test here, or we'll come back to it later. Okay. So what I have done, I have created two new sheets here. In one sheet, I have just kept the basic data with without those two columns, which is model and vehicle type and horsepower maybe, or something like that. Yeah. And this is the one table which I have created wherein we have model, vehicle type and horsepower. So idea will be, in this base data, we will try to add those variables. So basically we will add the whatever vehicle type and horsepower information to this information, right? So that's how we are going to do it. So let's go back and remember the sheet 1, sheet 2, let me call it as a left data LDT, or let me be more explicit, we call left DT. And here we are calling right DT. You don't need to worry about it, right? You can say anything. I'm just doing it for the sake of simplicity. So what we have to do, we have to take left DT and join the information based on model from right DT. Okay, let's see how it goes. So we are going to read this data, but this time we are going to put the sheet underscore name, which is equal to, what is the sheet name there? Left underscore DT. And I will do one more thing. I will simply call it as LDT. Right? So I will execute this code. No sheet named left underscore DT. I think it was something else. What's there? It's not saved about. Okay, now it was not saved maybe. Okay, so now we can simply see. So what I will also do is I will say left LDT dot head. Okay. So let me do this. I will re-upload this file for you also so that you can run simultaneously. So I'm going to just upload it, download this file and try to read it. Let me say replace. It's open. Okay. Where it is open. Okay, let me delete this file and then upload it. The file is currently out of log. Somebody has opened this file. Can you please close it? Or just simply download it and then use. Thanks. So no, somebody is still using it. Can you please close it and then so that I can upload the new file? If not, all you need to do is simply copy, go to the old file and copy that information that I just did. So all you need is, in one file you need to have manufacturer, model, width, length, sales. And in another file you will have some other information. So I'll just put in again, we are calling it right DT, sorry, RDT equal to PD dot read underscore Excel, and we will read underscore Excel. Again, I will say the same thing. Just copy it. And sheet number name equal to RIGST. Okay. And I will also say RDT dot head. Okay. So in RDT dot head, we have these records. So I know there are duplicates. So let's see how we can actually drop duplicates. So what I will do is I will go and simply say RDT dot drop duplicate. So if you want to find out, let's say, so whenever we need to do something, we have to think how to do it, right? So if you know the syntax, it is good. If you don't know the syntax, I told you how to find it. So you simply say drop duplicates pandas, right? Just 1 minute, please. Sorry. So we are back and we are searching for how to drop duplicate in Pandas. So we simply go and look at the documentation where it will say how to drop. So the syntax is dot drop underscore duplicates and you have to look for data frame. So what you say, what you see here is what are the various options here. So you want to keep, if there are duplicates, you want to keep the first or last. So by default, it will pick up the first one. So that's how you can actually choose like which record you want to drop and by what column you want to drop. So this is the subset. Subset is what? A list of column by which you want to drop. Then if you want to change the data frame, then you have to use in place equal to true or false. OK, so we'll go back and let's check it out. So what we are going to do here is let's first say rdt.info. So what it tells me that there are 102 entries and there are 3 columns: model, vehicle type and horsepower. So in this we want to drop it by duplicate rows. So basically wherever the entire row is duplicate, that's what we want to drop. So we simply go and say rdt dot drop underscore duplicates and we just that, right? So you simply do this and you'll get some output. So it will say 100 rows. So basically there were only 2 rows which were completely duplicate. Basically all the values were same. But suppose you want to say do it by model and vehicle type, not horsepower, right? So then you have to say subset equal to, and because you're doing for more than one column, you have to use list, which is square brackets, and simply type in the name model, comma, let's say vehicle type. So when we do this, we have 99 rows. So basically still there are a lot of unique values. Let's say we do it by horsepower and vehicle type. So you can simply copy horsepower and do it by this. So you have 97. Let's say you want to do it only by single column, which is horsepower. So you simply do this. You got so many records, which is how many? 3 and 3, 6. OK, suppose you want to do it by, let's say, vehicle type. So it should show only 2 records or 3 maybe. OK, because one is null also, right? So before that, you see in this data we have null also. So do we want to remove the nulls or we don't want to remove the null? So basically, should we say that OK, drop NA or should we say fill NA? So basically what I'm saying is in the vehicle type, if there is a null value, what should we do about it? Should we drop the entire row or should we fill it by something? So one way of doing that is like filling, because it's a categorical variable, we can say which is the most popular variable. By that we can fill it. So we say that rdt dot vehicle type dot value underscore count. So basically we want to know which is the most frequent variable. So we see passenger is the most frequent variable. So we can go to rdt and fill in by passenger. So we will say vehicle type equal to passenger. Right. So how you can, I'm not yet changing anything because you can see like I'm not doing anything to RDT. I'm doing in a separate instance. So basically I've not overwritten anything on the RDT. So RDT, if I run this code again, you will see it has still 102 entries and so many columns. If I write here in place equal to true, only then it will get changed. So can you now simply go and try to read these two sheets in your Python environment, wherein you will take car sale, sheet name right DT, you take again car sale, sheet name left DT, and then simply come to this place, wherein you say, I want to drop duplicates by vehicle type. Can you just quickly type in? I'll give you 2 minutes. I think that should be good to type in this piece of information. I'll keep this code open here for your reference. So let me know when you are done. So all you have to do is go to car sale file, create two sheets. In the meanwhile, I'll try to upload if I can. So let me again try to delete this. No, somebody has used it. OK, what I can do is I can open this file here and let me see if I can add tabs. Okay, so let me add the tab here. Go back here, car sale, my data, and I will simply copy this thing, go here, paste it. OK, and you can, what should we call it? Left or right? This is left DT. Go here, call it left DT. Now I'll add one more sheet and I'll call it right DT. For your reference, I'll go back and copy the data from there. OK, and then I'll close it. You can download this file. So Nandini is editing this file. If you can just close it so that others can also see it. And we can save it. Let's see if it is saved. Yes. So now you can go ahead and download that file and try to read it. In the meanwhile, I'll see if there are any questions. So there is a question, when we define a column name, is it case sensitive? Yes. So anything in Python, any object you define is case sensitive. So left with capital L will be different from left with small l. OK, somebody is asking, can someone tell me why is the exercise 4 group by downloaded in a web format for me? Just append the name .ipynb, then it will be in a form of Jupyter Notebook, and you have to open it up in Jupyter web browser. So if the extension is .ipynb, which is Iron Python Notebook, so then it should be able to open it within the Jupyter browser. OK, so some people have pinged me. Let me just check. OK, see you. OK, cool. So I think by now you should be able to at least read this file, left DT, right DT, and you should be able to check whether there are duplicate by vehicle type or not. Now let's do the simple exercise that we are trying to do. We want to rdt.fillNA, or let's say forget about fillNA right now. We'll come to it later. Let's now merge it. So I want to merge these two files, and I will say pd.merge. And a lot of time it happens like we are trying to merge two files. We have to find the column names, right? So very easy way is, even before the cell that you are trying to merge with, sorry, where you are trying to write your merge code, just before that you simply say print ldt.columns and then say print rdt.column. And the names are up to you, whatever you want, you can keep it. Then you have both the names. Now you can easily copy and paste names. So that's what the purpose was. So let's take LDT, that is my left data set, RDT, and on which column we want to merge it. But before that, I will say that how equal to, let's say, inner. OK, so we are creating a new data set by merging left data set and right data set. And we don't say anything. Let's say if we don't say anything, it will automatically pick up the common column, which is model here, and it will merge by model. So let's see what happens. And LRDT dot sample. Instead of head and tail, I can do sample also, and I can pick up 10 random records from the data. So this is what we get, and it is being merged by which column? Model. Right. Any questions? So let's see here now some information on this, how many records it has. LRDT.info. Now it has 108 entries. OK, while if we take only left data set, how many entries it has? 102 entries. So why we have more than 102? We said left data set, if we do a left join to it, all the records which are there will be there. There will be no additional records which will be added from right. Why this is happening? Because there are some duplicates by model, right? When we are combining these two, we are combining by model, and there are some duplicates either in this file or that file. In fact, maybe in both files. So let's check it out, how many duplicates we have. So let's say we do RDT and we do model.value counts. So there are a few records, like SLK 230 has 2 records. Few values have 2 records, in fact more than 1 record. So 2 times 3 is 6. Maybe these are the additional records we are getting there. Right. And in your RDT file, this is RDT, we go to LDT there. Sorry. OK, so in this also we have some duplicate records. And whenever you have duplicates, there will be more than original records in your final data set. So whenever you are merging, you have to be careful whether we have duplicates or not. In some cases, we know there are duplicates, but that's fine. We should be at least aware. Now let's see what if we do here indicator, right? Indicator equal to true. So then you can see it has added one more column, which is underscore merge, and it says whether it is available in both or not, right? So we can simply check whether all the records that we have done are in both or not, because I have done a join of inner, right? So how will I do that? I will simply do a value count. So let's do a couple of things here. OK, let's say print. What we have is LRDT dot underscore merge dot value counts, and we'll see some variation of this. So you can see since we have done inner join, it is coming in only both. So left only, right only are all 0. OK, so this is a good way to test how your records are there in different data frames and your merged data, where the records are coming from, whether it's making sense to you or not. In fact, sometimes we can use this indicator, basically this column, for some other purposes also. Let's say you say it is left. Now we do it still, because most of the values should be coming from left only, so they are available in both. So it says both. We need to find a data set where we have different type of records. I think this should also say both. Now you understand why it is saying both, because it is available in both. Right? Other values are right only or left only. So there is no record which is only in right or which is only in left. So we have to create that kind of synthetic data to see that working. Let's say we say outer. Still the same thing, because this is a very simplistic data set. But you get the point, right? What will happen if you have few records from right and left? Then you can simply say outer join, and then filter out only records which are in right if you want to. So what you will do, you will simply say LDT dot underscore, sorry, you have to filter out those records. So you will say LDT dot block, then sorry. What we are doing here, we are filtering out records wherein merge is taking value right only. So you will say LDT dot underscore merge equal to, we say right only. So this should give us how many records? 0. Oh, sorry. This is LRDT, not LDT. Okay, you see there are no records. Now if I say both, then it should give me all the records. Okay, so this is how you can filter. Now suppose you want only few columns, so you can simply provide a list of those columns. Which one you want? Let's say you want model and let's say width. So I go and put these two values here and I say this. So it will pick up only model and width. Let's say you want merge also, or you don't want merge. That's why we are doing this exercise. Okay, so these are the few things you can do. Now in this, good thing was in both the data sets we don't have more than one common column. So basically we are merging it by one column which is simply available in both, and hence you don't see any duplicate columns. So basically no column names are changed. But there might be cases wherein you have the column name same, multiple column name same. So let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation and see what will happen there. So you see overlapping value column. So what will happen if you have two columns, right? Two data frames where you have different few columns are common, few columns are different, and you are matching on only selected set of columns. For example, this is left and right data frame. You have columns K0, K0, K1, K0, K2, K3. What will happen here if you do this? And this is very peculiar, K0, K0, but let's say, okay. So when you merge it, you want to merge on right on, no, it is doing something else. If you have overlapping column, how will you do it? Okay. So let's come here. So by default, what happens if you have same column names in both the data frame, automatically it will end up prefix underscore X and underscore Y, right? So if you don't want that, if you want to define your own prefix, you can actually, or suffix, you can simply provide it. You can say suffix is equal to underscore L. You can say underscore 123 underscore ABC, anything, right? So that's what it will add. Let's go and take a look at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename some of the columns here. So I will say, let me go here and put in some cell here. I will say LDT dot rename. What do you want to rename? You want to rename a column. Which column we want to rename? Let's say we are renaming model. And because we are taking key value model to something else, so that is key is model, renaming to something else. Let's say not instead of model we say variant, right? And we say comma in place equal to true so that it gets changed. Now if we go to RDT and try to merge it, where did it go? Merge here. What happened? Something went wrong, honestly. Okay, what was the common column that we are merging on? Oh, so it has not changed actually. So the rename didn't work. Can anybody suggest why? Anyone? It's not renaming. Why is the case? So let's say what we are missing. So we say that rename column pandas. And you can simply go to document or you can go to stack. Let's go to stack. And it says, so this is actually saying that, okay, if you want to change all the columns, we don't want that. We want to rename specific columns. So it says you have to provide it like a dictionary and you have to mention this columns equal to, right? So it says columns equal to old name to new name, old name 2 to new name 2, basically a dictionary here. So let's go back to our code and we say that here columns equal to. Now if you do, now it is change variant. Okay, so let's go down where we were writing printing the columns. You print it, now you can see it is variant and it is vehicle type. Now you see these two data sets don't have any common name. Right, so if you do this, let's say this merge here, it will throw an error. What is the error here? It will say that no common columns to perform merge on. So you have to provide the column name. So what we have to do here, we need to do this. So we will say left on equal to which column is from the left side, LDT is variant. And right on model. And then we simply say merge and it will give you a similar result. Cool. Now let's say we have to make some variation in this data to have different kinds of column. Maybe in the data set itself, when we are creating those additional sheets, we can have some common columns, right? I will show you quickly this. You can say, let's say I'm copying this sales here and put it here. Okay, and save this data. Let's go back. I'm removing all the outputs. So you go to cell, all outputs, clear. So let's start afresh. So clearing output does not mean you have removed the variables. The variables will be still there, right? So you can see all the variables are still there. You simply cannot remove it. Okay, so but we are going to read it again. We go here and read this left data. We got this sales variable and we are changing the column name. We got this right in this also sales and this one. So we got sales here, which is common in both. So let's go to merge. Now we'll do something very quickly without actually giving this right and left. If you by mistake, sorry, do this, what will happen? It will try to merge on sales, right? Which is not the right way to do it. So that's where be very careful. I would say always explicitly mention the columns on which you want to merge. Okay. Now you have seen that it has merged by sales. That's why sales is only one column. But now we are saying merge by variant and model. What will happen? You will see sales underscore X, sales underscore Y. So automatically it will see the common column, which is not the key columns, basically not the columns based on which you are merging. Then it will add suffixes to it automatically, right? So this is a good feature also. Sometimes it creates problem because you don't realize and then you go ahead and try to find out. Let's say we were doing lrdt dot sales dot, let's say, describe. So it will say column not found, obviously because there is no sales column. It has been changed to sales X. So that's where you have to check it out. Okay, so this is the important feature that you need to remember while doing this matching. Now let's say you actually want to merge it by sales also. So instead of only variant and this, you want to merge it by variant and sales. So simply you will say, because it is more than one, you need to use a list and then you say sales, same thing. You copy, because on the right data set you have the same name. You can put in this also. So you see this. Okay, now the sales is again back as a normal column because it is used as key. It is not a separate column which were having same names. So you can see like this is the way you can actually do a lot of different ways, a lot of different data manipulation in terms of merging. And it's quite easy also, right? Only thing is if you have to merge more than 2 data sets, then you have to do it twice. So basically first thing is this: suppose you have another data set that you want to merge, you will simply say LRDT equal to PD dot merge, and that's good. Let's do it. LRDT, and again you want to, let's say, merge LDT, and you want to do it how equal to inner, and on you can provide, you cannot, depending on how many extra columns you have. So we have done this. Good interesting thing is you have to note we are overwriting the original data sets. So we have created LRDT here and we are going for LRDT here and merging LDT to it back again. It is just an example. You, instead of LDT, you will have different name. So let me do this LRDT dot head, and I will just comment it to show you something. So now you can see we have merged it back to the original data, right? We have these columns here. Let's do it now this way. So what it has done simply matching of LDT with this with all the columns, because we didn't specify any column name, but suppose I want to do it only on this. OK, so now we do this. Something went wrong. Error key model. So where we don't have model. OK, in LDT we don't have model, it's variant actually. So instead of LDT, let me do it for RDT. OK, again some error. I cannot use name of an existing column for an indicator column. OK, because this underscore merge is already there. So let's not take it. We have to rename that again, use it, because that is by default the name it creates. So now you can see we have merged RDT again to this merged data set, and it has created all those columns with a suffix, right? Wherever this name was common, it has created X and then Y like this. So whenever you have to merge more than one data set, you have to do it twice like that. So if you want to do multiple, you will do this way. Cool. So let's go back to our presentation, and the meanwhile start formulating your questions. If you have any questions, we can take up after a few minutes. So in this particular PPT, what I have done, I have actually given you a lot more elaborate examples along with the code, along with the definition, because I think this is very important topic in Pandas. Merging two data frame is the most important thing that you do in any kind of analysis. So that's why you will see all sort of pictorial representation and all is there. Just go through it and I will just see like if there is anything interesting that I want to cover here. OK, so this is the duplicate we have already seen, right? So if there are duplicates in one table and you are matching it to other table, it will match all those duplicate values, right? So you will say employee ID 123. This is the one table which has employee ID, name and address. This is another table wherein you have project allocation date. So you have employee ID and you have a start date. You want to merge it back to this table. So now you know, because I'm merging a project allocation table and one employee can work on multiple tables, there will be duplicates, but you're fine with it. So ultimately, when you get the final data, you will see duplicate records for it. OK, so this is what it is doing. There is no other change in syntax. Simply you have to follow the same syntax, pd.merge and left, right, and whatever you want to do. OK, so one interesting thing it has a validation kind of thing also. So suppose you don't know there are duplicates, right? Suppose you're merging two tables where you do not expect to be duplicate, then you can put in validate equal to 1 to 1. So if it has duplicate in any of the table, it will give you a merge error so that you know that you are not merging on duplicates. But if you know there are duplicate and you simply want to know whether they are there or not, you can simply say one to many. I rarely use it. In fact, I don't use this also 1 to 1 because most of the time when we are creating data, we know what we are doing. But in case if you want to automate some process and you know that there might be some issues with the data, it is good way to actually prevent the error. It's not preventing the error, it is actually generating the error to prevent wrong data from being created. So this is all for today's session in terms of slides and all. Now we will go back to our hands-on session and I will try to take up questions you have and we will solve it here so that everybody can see that. So let me know if you have any questions now. Questions from today's session also and from previous session, anything. Just let me know. Okay, thanks Navneet. Add column to the syntax. When we are doing renaming, we have to use columns in the command. Thanks, Ajita. So do you have any questions? If not, I'll still wait for the question. I will show the exercise that I have given you and I'll open it up. So it is exercise 5, merging. All you need to do is you have to create some data and you have to follow this exercise. Right, so create a data wherein you have two columns PL1 and PL2. And then you have to rename it to something interesting like product level 1, product level 2. Okay, so all these questions are there. Let me take it up if you can simply do it. This is easy, not difficult. I think you can do it. Yeah. You have to just take any two data sets with at least one common key. Okay, let me go back to this particular file and I hope all of you are actually following this basic Python tutorial, which is actually created by Sujit for us. And he has actually done a lot of good and interesting pieces of coding here. You simply need to go and run it with those files that he has given and then do one thing, replace that file with something else that you have and try to run it again. So here we are talking about the renaming also. Let me check something where group by. So read data from Excel. We don't have any group by here. Okay. Okay, we don't have any group by here, so this is up to that. So for group by, you can use this test 1 and in fact for merging also. And I'll upload this to the same folder. I'm waiting for the questions. Or if you don't have any question, try executing this piece of code. Try to merge these two files and then we can actually take up questions. One thing we didn't do is the concatenation. Right, so let me just clear up the cells and take up some examples in terms of concatenation. Okay. I'll do something here. So let me put in like LDT dot columns. We'll take this information only and we have manufacturer variant, right? So we know that what are the variant values? LDT dot variant dot value counts. Oh, there are so many. So let's go to manufacturer. I want to just split the data into two pieces. Okay, still we have so many. Okay, let's say we say Ford. We are creating one data set named Ford and we say that how it will be created. LDT.loc. Then we say LDT.manufacturer equal to Ford. And we are taking all the columns. So let's check it out if it is created correctly or not. Ford.head. It should be LOC. Okay, so this is created Ford and let's now create one more data. Let's say we are calling it Lexus. So same thing, I will do Lexus equal to LDT.LOC. So LDT dot manufacturer equal to Lexus. And let's say we are not okay, so let's do it first with all the same columns and then see, let's say we are doing Lexus dot shape. So what does it do? It will tell you how many rows and columns are there. Let's instead of head, let's say shape, and let's see. So this has 11 records and this has 6 records. So if I simply do pd.concat and let's say combine data, com equal to, let's not use com, let's say f Ford Lexus FL equal to pd.concat. Because there are two data, you have to enclose it in list, and data name is Ford. You can name anything, right? So I just kept it for simplicity. Lexus, and you will say axis equal to 0. So let's see FL dot shape. How many records should be there? 70. Columns are 5. Cool. Let's do a quick sample on this and take 10 records as a sample. Spelling is wrong again. Okay. Right. So you saw like they are appended to each other. Now, let's say instead of actually taking the columns which are all same, let's pick up only few columns in one and few in another. Let's say manufacturer, variant and width. This I will select for Ford. And because I have to select multiple column, I will put them in a list, right? It has 3 columns. For second one, I will, let's say I will select all of them for that. Okay, so let's say it's like 11.3. It says 6.5. Now we concatenate, we get 17.5, but let's see how it looks. Something went wrong. Where are length and sales? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Cool. So we have length and sales, but wherever it is Ford, is it null? Yes. So you see, we are appending Ford to Lexus. That's why wherever the Ford values were not there, basically those columns were not there, we are seeing null values here, right? So let me make it little more explicit, and we say manufacturer variant bit, we have to take length and sales. And I'll just put manufacturer also. There's one extra bracket here. Let's see this. FL. Okay. So we have this Ford, wherein we have Ford manufacturer, variant and width. We are appending manufacturer, length and sales. So what will happen? Manufacturer to manufacturer columns will align when we are doing this. So all should be populated. For variant, it should be populated only for Ford. Let's check it out. Variant for Ford. For Lexus, it is NAN because here we don't have variant. So wherever we see Lexus, it is NAN. Right? Let's take the full data because it's anyway very small. Okay, so here we go. So now you can see they have just appended. So wherever it is Lexus, you can see all null values are there, right? Now for Lexus, we had length and sales, and that was not there in Ford data. So you will see it is null for all of those values, right? So whenever you are doing this kind of concatenation, make sure that you have, you know what you're doing. Basically, you know which columns needs to be appended and which other columns. If you think that these columns are saved, let's say instead of length, the spelling was LNT or LEN, then just go and rename it. Otherwise, they won't be aligned properly. All right, so that's it for today. I will take up any question if you have. Those who want to leave, they can leave. What I will do, I will upload these files over there. And once the session is done after 5 minutes, I will download the recording and upload it over there. And do let me know if you have any questions. If anybody want to try that exercise, they can do that. The file is already uploaded. Basically, the PowerPoint is already uploaded. You can take that PowerPoint, all the syntax is there. You have the data and you can try these exercises. One thing also I would suggest is if you have any data, right? So suppose there is small data that you want to work on, that you actually are working on, you're using it in Excel and you want us to look at it in pandas. So basically you want to do the same things that you are doing in Excel in pandas. Please share that data and we will spend some time analyzing it in pandas. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions, I will take it up now. Those who want to leave, they can go. Thanks a lot. And before next session, which is on Thursday, I think it might not be there in your calendar invite. If it is there or not, I don't know. I will post the timing and link here itself. So the timing remains same. It is 3:15 to 4:30 on 10th of July, which is at 7, 8, 9, 10th here on Thursday. So coming Thursday, I'll post the link here. Thanks for joining. I'm waiting for questions. All right. Thanks a lot. I will end this session because I don't see any questions here. So let's meet in fifth and final session of this. We will see some exercise. Maybe I'll try to pick up a kind of full-fledged project, not a big one, but small one, wherein we have two data files. We will read information from one, read information from second, do some additional column manipulation, add some column, remove something like that, and prepare a final data set and see some stats on that. So that's what we will try to do in the next session. Typically, I planned the fifth session for doing some kind of regression model and all, but I think at this stage I won't get into that. I will simply do a combination of everything that we learned. Plus, I will also show you why we are talking about lists. So I will show you some kind of list comprehension, which is very, very useful in analyzing or manipulating data in Python. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.